Why would I ever lay hands on them? Because truth be told, he's the boss. Nobody can touch him, not even think about it. Even if you wanted to, someone would stop you before you got close. That's how deep the loyalty runs. Anyone who crosses the line gets checked, sometimes slapped, sometimes worse. NBA YoungBoy was caught on camera doing exactly that, slapping his own homies. Not rumors. DJ Academics himself pulled up to YB's house and saw it with his own eyes. YoungBoy yelling, snapping, putting hands on his crew while everyone stood frozen. Because when the man feeding your whole family loses his temper, you don't fight back, you survive. Inside YoungBoy's world, control isn't requested, it's demanded. It's more than fame, it's survival. Every man around him eats because of him. He's the one paying bills, feeding families, keeping everyone afloat. On the surface, that looks like loyalty, but deep down, it's power. If your life depends on one man, you'll let him cross any line. That's why what Academics described shocked fans, but not those closest to YB. He's one of the few media guys YoungBoy even trusts, and what he saw confirmed the whispers that have been circling for years. YB really does snap on his own people. Academics said YoungBoy treated his homies like a strict father punishing kids, and nobody fought back. They just stood there, quiet, dependent, scared to lose their place. Because if YB cuts you off, your whole world collapses. No money, no roof, no safety. That kind of control makes him untouchable. Around him, respect comes with fear. People praise him carefully, afraid he might switch up at any second. From the outside, it seems crazy. Why let another man talk to you like that? But when he's the reason your family eats, the answer's simple: survival. With YB, it's not friendship, it's dependency. He's the center of everyone's world, and walking away costs more than staying. That's where Lil Dump comes in, YB's right-hand man, loyal since day one. Dump's been through the rise, the chaos, the beefs, always by his side. But one photo changed everything. A busted lip, blood dripping, fans pointing fingers at YB. And honestly, it made sense. YoungBoy's temper is legendary, and being close means catching the fire. But Dump didn't speak, didn't fight, didn't flinch. He stayed loyal, silent, standing right beside YB like nothing happened. That silence spoke volumes. It showed how things really work in that camp. YB isn't just a leader, he's a father, a provider, a ruler. And when Dump called him daddy in that viral clip, it stopped being about friendship. It became something darker, built on power, fear, and loyalty that could never be broken. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't trolling. It was pure respect, the kind that comes from growing up under someone's wing. To Lil Dump, NBA YoungBoy isn't just a rapper stacking millions. He's the man who fed him, sheltered him, and gave him a way out when no one else cared. That's the part outsiders never understand. It's easy to clown or call him weak for letting another man put hands on him. But when you come from Baton Rouge with nothing, and YB takes you in, puts money in your pocket, and changes your entire life, that bond hits different. Dump sees YoungBoy as the reason he escaped the trenches, the reason he's breathing easier today. So even when YB crosses the line, Dump's loyalty doesn't fade, it hardens. And YB knows that. That's why he can discipline his homies like a strict parent and still keep their respect. It's a twisted kind of love, one built on survival. Dump's story exposes the balance inside YB's world. Love mixed with fear, loyalty tangled with control. When he called YB daddy, it wasn't out of weakness, it was out of respect. Because YoungBoy provides, protects, and punishes all at once. For someone like Dump, there's no separating the three. That's where the mental part comes in. One thing that sets YB apart from every other rapper is how real his instability feels. For most, chaos is an image. For him, it's a heartbeat. The mood swings, the disappearances, the explosions, they're all part of who he is, and he's admitted it himself. YB's been diagnosed as bipolar, and once you know that, his patterns start making sense. One minute, he's on live playing with his kids, talking about peace. The next, he's screaming, throwing things, threatening to crash out on anyone who crosses him. That same fire burns inside his circle. His homies aren't just friends, they're emotional punching bags. When those episodes hit, they catch the flames first. But they can't fight back, not when YB is the one paying their bills, feeding their families, keeping them safe. To lose him is to lose everything. So they take it. That kind of loyalty is dangerous. It gives YB even more power. He knows no one will walk away, no matter how bad it gets. DJ Academic saw it himself. 1 minute calm, the next chaos. He described YB snapping on his people like a parent checking kids, then hour later laughing, cracking jokes, acting like nothing happened. That bipolar swing between love and rage keeps everyone off balance. To outsiders, it looks like abuse. To his circle, it's just YB being YB. They've learned to walk on eggshells, justifying the anger by focusing on the good. The moments he breaks bread, pays rent, buys chains, and shows love. It's like he breaks them down only to rebuild them again, keeping them tied to him tighter than before. That's why Dump can sit there with a busted lip and still call YB his daddy. To him, that's not submission, it's loyalty. My daddy? Yeah, he gave me some. But make no mistake, this isn't normal friendship. It's dependency wrapped in bipolar storms and unspoken fear. YB's mental struggles don't just shape him. They shape everyone who lives in his orbit. His crew isn't just rolling with a superstar, they're surviving with a storm. And as long as he holds the money, the loyalty, and the power, the cycle keeps spinning. That's where the line between fear and respect starts to blur. Do they follow him because they love him, or because they're afraid not to? On the surface, it looks like brotherhood. His people riding in his cars, repping his name, defending him online. But look closer, and it feels like survival. Dump's loyalty proves it. The busted lip, the silence, the obedience, that's more than respect. That's surrender. And it forces one question. When someone can embarrass you and you still stand beside them, is that love or fear? YB's crew doesn't move like a rap entourage. They move like a household. He's the father, they're the kids, and if someone steps out of line, punishment follows. Academics confirmed it after pulling up to YB's house. He watched him snapping on his own people, checking them, even putting hands on them, and no one fought back. They stood quiet, like sons afraid of disappointing their dad. And that's what left fans divided. Is that real leadership or straight-up fear? Respect and fear often look the same, but they're not. Respect means you follow because you believe. Fear means you follow because you don't have a choice. And when you see how YB's crew moves, it's clear. Fear plays a major role. Outsiders can walk away. Other rappers can clap back. But his circle? They're trapped by loyalty and survival. Still, the truth isn't simple. These men love YB. They've seen him rise from nothing. They've eaten because of him. And in their eyes, he's proof that escaping the gutter is possible. That's what keeps them close. So it's not just fear. It's a painful blend of respect, dependence, and the desperate need to stay under his protection. That tension is what keeps YB's world spinning. Unpredictable, powerful, and dangerous. He'll slap you one moment for stepping out of line, then put you in a music video the very next day. That's how blurred the line between fear and respect has become in YoungBoy's world. His crew doesn't just follow him out of admiration. They follow because they have to. They respect his grind, his music, his power, but they also fear his anger, his unpredictable moods, and the threat of being cut off from the life he built for them. That combination makes NBA YoungBoy one of the most powerful and most dangerous figures in rap. Not just because of his talent, but because of the absolute control he holds over everyone around him. To outsiders, it almost looks religious. And that's where the cult leader comparisons start to make sense. Look at how his circle moves. The silence, the obedience, the worship. They don't just support him, they orbit around him. He feeds them, disciplines them, and dictates every rule in their world. When YB says move, they move. When he snaps, they take it. When he forgives them, it's like a blessing. That's not loyalty, it's devotion. The same energy bleeds into his fan base. YoungBoy's supporters don't just listen to his music, they defend his name like soldiers. Every time he's in drama, his fans flood comment sections, ready to fight for him. That mirrors how his crew acts in real life. Always ready to ride, even when it makes no sense. What deepens the cult leader narrative is YB's isolation. Ever since his legal battles, he's lived far from the world. In Utah, surrounded only by those who depend on him most. That isolation didn't just cage him, it caged everyone else too. When you're cut off from the outside world, YB becomes your world. Your identity, your income, your safety, it all runs through him. And that's how control is built. It's the same method cult leaders use. Cut off outside voices, create dependency, and keep loyalty alive through a mix of love and fear. Whether intentional or not, YoungBoy has built something eerily similar. His homies would rather live inside his storm than risk life without it. That's why moments like Lil Dump calling him Daddy hit so differently. It doesn't sound like street loyalty, it sounds like worship.